I'm going to talk about one interesting that is exists in this world, and probably it's important for you too. It's called love. It sounds simple, right? One feeling, but a thousand silent battles behind it. People tell you that the hardest part of life is chasing your dreams, building success, or facing failure. But that's not true. The hardest thing you will ever do in life is to love fully, deeply, with your whole heart, and then be forced to let it go. Yeah, such a stupid thing, right? But nobody prepares you for that. Nobody tells you that one day something or someone you once couldn't live without becomes just a memory that stings when it randomly crosses your mind. Love is not just about romance. It's not always about another person. Sometimes it's a place, it's a moment in time, a version of yourself that felt alive, a city that made you feel at home, a passion that once burned in your chest but slowly faded out. Let's go off track for a second. Think of Kobe Bryant. He loved basketball more than anything. He once said, "I will do whatever it takes to win games, whether it's sitting on a bench waving a towel, handing a cup of water to a teammate, or hitting the game-winning shot." That was love, passion, obsession, and yet he had to walk away, retire, let it go. Not because he wanted to, but because life said so. That pain, that slow burn of knowing you will never get to live what you once lived, that's what letting go feels like. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. A deleted number, a shirt you don't wear anymore, a song you skip because it hurts too much, a dream you stop chasing because the world convinced you it wasn't worth it. We always talk about falling in love like it's the peak of being human, but we never talk about falling out of it. The emptiness that comes afterward, the confusion, the identity crisis, when you don't know who you are anymore because everything that wants to find you is now gone. And it gets harder when you still remember the good parts. You still remember their voice, the laugh, the way your heart beat differently when you were around them. Or maybe it's the way your fingers felt on a piano, the way the ocean smelled in your favorite city, or that old camera you used to carry around because photography gave you purpose. Love is not always a person. Sometimes love is the way you felt when you had nothing but believe you had everything. Sometimes it's a version of you that you outgrew but still missed. Even Steve Jobs, before he died, he said, "I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world, but aside from work, I have little joy." Imagine that, a man the world idolized, and in the end, what broke him wasn't failure, it was losing the simple things that once made him feel human.
The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. This was the closest I've been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I get for a few more decades. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away.
You know what's the hardest thing in love? It's not heartbreak, it's acceptance. Accepting that what you once had won't come back, that you can't rewind time, that you can't beg someone to stay, that no amount of holding on can stop something from fading when it's already meant to end. You can move on, you can heal, but you will always carry pieces of it with you. Like a scar you don't see, but feel every time someone touches it. There's also guilt. Guilt for letting go, guilt for not being able to save it, guilt for being the one who walked away even though your heart was breaking too. But you need to know this. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love them, or enough. It means you finally understood that love is not always about holding on. Sometimes it's about knowing when to walk away. You don't forget love, you grow around it. It becomes part of who you are. The music changes, but the melody never really leaves. It's that quiet ache in your chest when a memory sneaks up out of nowhere and your eyes water, not because you're weak, but because you remember what it felt like to feel that much. To anyone who's let go of a person, to anyone who said goodbye to a dream, to anyone who's lost their passion and is trying to find it again, you're not broken, you're human. And being human means you will love deeply and hurt deeply too. Why is it that we grieve places, feelings, even a version of ourselves, and yet no one teaches us how to say goodbye to them? Is it because deep down we believe that love should be permanent, that once we give our heart to something, it owes us forever. But life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't ask for permission when it takes something you love away. It just moves on, expecting you to follow. Do you ever miss that version of yourself? The one who used to dream big before the world taught you to settle? What happened to them? Did you let them go willingly? Or did life slowly chip away at them until they were unrecognizable? Sometimes loving ourselves is just as hard as loving others, because as we grow, we outgrow pieces of our identity. And yet, don't those old versions of ourselves still live inside us, screaming for attention in quiet moments? Why is it that the past feels more vivid than the present sometimes? Why does it feel like letting go of the old you is a betrayal, even if it's necessary? Damn. There's a kind of love that comes with habits, routines, and everyday comfort. You love someone or something, not just for what they are, but for how they made you feel, for how they fit into your life like a puzzle pieces. And when it ends, it's not just loss of a person, it's the loss of how you saw the world through them. Have you ever walked the same street you used to walk with someone you love and realized how empty it feels now? Or listened to a song that once gave you butterflies but now only brings pain? What do we do with the emotional residue that lingers long after love is gone? Can we ever fully remove it, or do we just learn to live with the echoes? And if love is supposed to make us feel alive, why does its absence feel like slow death? Why do we confuse comfort with love? Is it possible that we sometimes hold on not because of love, but because we're afraid of starting over? And if that's true, then what are we really afraid of? Being alone or facing ourselves? Letting go is not the opposite of love. It's sometimes the final act of it. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to and why? Does it still serve you, or are you keeping it alive in your heart out of fear that you will never feel that way again? Because you will. Not in the same way, not with the same person or passion, but life has a way of bringing you new love when you make space for it. And in the end, what remains is not what you lost, but how you love. How you stay soft in a world that begs you to go numb. How you open your heart knowing it could be broken. So here's the truth. The hardest thing in life is not heartbreak. It's the moment you decide to love again. After everything you've been through, it's trusting again, hoping again, and still choosing to care when the world gave you every reason not to. So I will leave you with this. What do you still love even in silence? And what are you brave enough to let go of so you can love again? Maybe better this time?